What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here. Got a little discussion topic for you today. How many of you pick up a game and you're sure to play it all the way through till the end, making sure to beat that last level? If I had to guess, I would say not very many of you do. In fact, we might have a few little statistics to actually go on. A story that I published up on the front page of VGN the other day. It was from the official PlayStation magazine, and they were talking with the Hitman Absolution director. Now, you may not know, but a lot of games, they keep up with all kinds of stats. Well, of course, they know how many games they actually sold for that title, but you know, there's achievements or trophies in games. They know how many people have unlocked which ones, and they can tell how many people have progressed to whatever X amount of levels in that game. So they kind of can tell based on their work how much of their work is really being seen. And it turns out, they said, according to their tools, they are only seeing about 20% of players make it to that last level to see the end credits. So not a whole lot of people are playing through to the final game. And he's talking about in this article, which is a pretty good little discussion that I'll link down in the description box, but he's talking about, you know, the amount of work and time and effort that goes in to creating these levels. And it's something that a lot of times even I take for granted. You walk around, if you look at a lot of these levels, you go in any corner or any room, a lot of times there's little details there that are put there. They're put there on purpose, and it's stuff that we've come to almost expect it now when we game. So whenever you see that, it's almost like, oh well, that's nothing new. And a lot of the work doesn't become appreciated, and especially if you're a developer or creator, and knowing that you're designing the last level, this is the last end of the game, and knowing that not a whole lot of people are going to see it, it would be kind of disheartening. So I can kind of see the frustration there on the part of the developers and the team creating it, knowing that not a lot of people are going to see your work. But what would make you make it to the last level? What is it about single player or campaign that just hooks you in? I hear so many people complaining about first-person shooter campaigns and how, you know, they need something new to kind of freshen it up, and they're all kind of bland. And I have to tend to agree. I don't play through a whole lot of first-person shooter campaigns because it is just kind of like a pop-up gallery, and so I would rather play online multiplayer, so I know that I'm not versing some AI who's been pre-programmed to walk over to that wall and to pop up and shoot in my direction no matter where I am. You know, I would rather be online playing with human players who's you know, all thinking differently, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. But for me, they were talking about how these campaigns also, so not only are only 20% of people seeing the last level, but these games are actually designed a lot of times, especially single player campaign focused games, they're designed a lot of times for the player to go back through a second time or a third time to really explore the world, be able to get more details on the backstory, or, you know, find clues or whatever else. And I have to say that I'm just not one of those people. It has to be a really, really good game for me to be able to want to go back and play it again. And maybe that's just me. I mean, I'm like that with a lot of different things. As far as movies go, I don't like to go back and rewatch a movie a lot of times. I can only think of maybe a handful of movie titles that, like, I've seen more than once. You know, the first Matrix, the first Jurassic Park, Gladiator, and Braveheart. I think that's probably about it. Oh, 300 was good too. But anyway, there's not very many at all. And so same with my TV. I don't like to watch a lot of episodes of the same thing over and over and over. There's some shows that I do like to watch, but it has to be really good. As far as games are concerned, I can't think of many single player games that I've wanted to go back through all the way and beat from start to finish. There are some that I probably wouldn't mind playing back through. Red Dead Redemption, Bioshock, those were really well done stories. The Grand Theft Auto, I like a lot of Rockstar games. LA Noire, I like a lot of those games because I think they do a really good job of telling a story, and I think that's really important in a campaign. I want to know why I'm shooting all these people, you know, or why they're all after me. And I don't want it to be some bland reason, you know. And I would prefer to have a really well done story when I'm playing through the campaign. It makes it worthwhile to want to progress, to see that story come about. But for me, so many times, a lot of single player games turn into just so much repetitiveness, and your goal or the reason why you're there doing the things you're there, it's not worth wanting to do it. And so that's why a lot of times I'll just call it quits about halfway through, or I'll play it and I'll say, okay, well, that's what that game was like, and you know, that's it, and finish it. So what is it for you that has to be so good that it captivates you? What's the last game that you played from start to finish and absolutely loved? What's the last game you played from start to finish and regretted spending that time doing it? And you know, would you say overall that you don't finish the majority of your games? What's your top reasons why? That's a lot of stuff, I know. But you guys, a lot of times, I'll look at my comments, and I'll look at other people's videos, and I'll see comments where it'll be a lot of one-liners, and sometimes I have those too. But a lot of times, you guys, what I love is you'll look at the comments on a lot of the videos, and they'll be like huge paragraphs. And it's like people are writing reports, which I like. In-depth conversation topics, I like it. So you guys chime in on this one. Let me know what you think about 20% of players finish single and campaigns. Single player campaigns, there you go. That does it for me, the Red Dragon. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.